And I'm so happy to see you. You know, when we discuss matters farming, farming is part of life. It's one of those careers that will never end. Sometimes when we come to artificial intelligence, people think that they're like, AI can take my job. But people will always need food to eat. And if you're in the food ecosystem or planting ecosystem, there is a higher chance of survival. Question is, are you equipped properly to make sure that when you go into any kind of farming, you do it properly? And that's why today in this show, we make sure that we give you your flowers. Today, we're focusing on flower farming specifically, okay? How to do it properly. There is a huge issue of pest management, which a lot of farmers come into excited. They've gotten flowers, they're planting flowers, then they realize at the end of the day, they've made a lot of losses because they couldn't do it properly. And today we have a demo farm for you here to make sure that we show you how to do planting. This is a model farm. It can be extrapolated into your 2 acres, into your 3 acres, but we will demonstrate it right here on how to do it properly. So today we have, of course, experts with us in studio. On the far end, we have Dr. Mwaniki Tahiti, who's a crop scientist, and also we have a flower farmer, and we'll be giving you your flowers today. Joseph Kanye, flower farmer. I don't think we give flower farmers enough flower, yeah? Enough of that pun, but it's amazing to have you gentlemen in studio with us today. Also today, it's beautiful because we are cooking, all right? And something is cooking. And guess who's helping us cook something? Chef Rod Kamau is with us. Good afternoon, Chef. What's on the menu, man?
Hey, today we're going to make a prawn and chili linguine. So I'll just do a step-by-step process on how you can go prepare this dish and finalize it and put it on a plate.
Why should people be interested in prawn and chili linguine?
Okay, the chili is now ideally for the people who love chili in their food. It's just an additive flavor. Prawns are actually really nutritious. They're a really good source of protein, and it's a available seafood item. Slightly expensive, but if it's something you want to try out, you can definitely go for the prawns.
Definitely. Thank you very much. Today we're learning to make seafood. So some people believe seafood, but I wanted to be a rapper when I was growing up. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much time, beautiful. So we want to go into matters flower farming. And flower farming is a huge business, is a huge part of, exports. When we talk about getting money from outside, as much as right now the big discussion is about labor export and whether that is right or wrong, for the longest time we've had issues to do with tea export. Flour has been one of our major exports, so export, earners in the country. And question is, how can you go into flower farming and do it properly? And we were just having this chat even before we came on air, Dr. Mwaniki Tahiti. Yes. You're speaking about the importance of what you're going to be doing here today. Why is it critical what you're going to be doing here today?
Thanks a lot, Noah. Afternoon, viewers. It's very important to look at planting and crop establishment because we must have a medium for growth. Among the small-scale farmers, we normally have soil as the commonly used medium for production. But there are also other types of media. We have cocoa peat, we have vermiculite, you can have pumice, you can have peat moss, based on your capacity and capital resources to produce. Okay. But we majorly on small scale because they have smaller parcels of land, and we are more concerned about what they have, and that is the soil. It is important that we narrow down into soil as our media of growth today.
Okay. Definitely. Yes. Very, very important. Mr. Kanye, yes, you're a flower farmer?
Yes, I am.
Was it an idea that was born on the 14th of February, one day, then you decided I'm going to go big on this, or how did you come about this?
Well, thank you, Noah. The idea of flower farming was actually born in myself after engaging for a period of about 15 years, practicing flower growing and also teaching farmers how to grow flowers.
Okay.
And that's when I was actually acquainted in flower production. And since then, I haven't looked behind.
Okay.
Most importantly is when I see people smile with a bouquet of flowers in the hospital, wedding, families. That's my joy.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Right.
You've just brought it home, you know. Flower seems to accompany us in the journey of life, in the celebrations, still in the mornings. It is very symbolic.
Yes,
How
it
do you
is.
think of it?
Very significant indeed.
Very significant.
Yes,
indeed.
and therapeutic. Yes, please.
Really?
Yeah.
Dr. Taiti?
Yes.
Flower farming is therapeutic.
Yeah,
You had that.
for real.
Now, we have a demo farm here. I can imagine this is land
Yes.
for us.
Yes.
You've gotten your 2-acre parcel of land. You want to go into flower farming. Briefly, Dr. Taiti, just to set the stage before you go into the planting stage.
Yes.
It is the land preparation,
Yes.
which seems to be very critical.
Yes.
How you treat and the nature of soil that you need to take care of. What are those prerequisites that farmers who are going, especially the first-time farmers, need to be very keen about as they prepare their piece of land?
All right. Thank you. It is very, very important to have a medium for growth. Whether you are doing hydroponics where you don't use soil or whether you are using soil, you need media that can hold the plant roots. And also a medium where you can put your nutrients for the uptake in the plants. So it is very critical that you have the soil that you see here, basically speaking, can come with a myriad of challenges. Because in this soil, you have soil-borne diseases. In this soil, you may have deficiency of nutrients required for plant growth. In these soils, you might have mineral ions that are toxic and that can be taken in the plant, and if the plant is the plant is edible, can end up harming human health.
Okay.
So it is very critical to understand your media and especially soil, and that is where we come in now as crop scientists in the analysis of soil. We look into the soil from 3 perspectives. What are the mineral contents to sustain crop growth? Number 2, we look at the pathological population. The pathology of the soil is in terms of the microorganisms in the soil that can harm uptake of nutrients from the soil for the plant to grow normally.
Okay.
So again, we also look at the physical characteristics of the soil in terms of the structure is very important, because compacted soils will also not allow good establishment of the roots.
Okay.
And as you can see, look at the crop, the mouth part of the plant is the roots.
Okay.
If the soil is poorly done, compacted, and has not been considered as a media for crop growth, you can have retardation, and plants that are retarded cannot be in a position to absorb water, and then the nutrients cannot be in a position to diffuse for the crop to attain its maximum potential.
All right, definitely. So get your soil tested in simple terms.
Yes.
Before you get into anything,
Yes.
planting, get soil testing so that you're advised how
Correct.
to make that medium, optimize it for your growth.
Yes.
And now we want to start, if we may just stand up, we want to start planting.
Yes.
Now you've tested your soil.
True.
You're ready.
Yep.
I see some components here. Steph,
yes.
explain it to us what those are.
Yes, basically when we talk of what you have seen here, they are planting materials
Yes.
for the summer flowers. To be more specific, when we talk of summer flowers, people may be wondering, what are we talking about?
Yes.
These are actually the flowers that are able to be grown outdoor, where you don't need greenhouses or other complicated structures to grow.
Okay.
So this one is for every common person who is interested in farming, is able to be born and adopted in this process.
Okay.
And so importantly. So however, moving very fast, after knowing the soil, as a farmer now you come in and you're able now to actually identify through an agronomist
Yes.
to understand which kind of a product can you grow in your region.
Okay.
Some may be moving from low regions, high tropic regions.
Yes.
So basically, like in Kenya here, we actually come from different areas.
Yes.
Every area has a specific flower that can do much well.
For
In
example?
a way, let's say like tuberose is a low altitude product.
Okay.
Ideally below 1500 meters above sea level.
Okay.
So basically require a bit of some warmth. Then this is a tuber
Okay.
for the tuberose.
Okay.
This is a sweet smelling tuberose,
Okay.
which is very ideal and has some very good market
Okay.
in the market, both for local and also export.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And when it comes to matters of planting,
Okay.
you just need to come and prepare. Today we have a sample farm here representing 1 square meter.
Okay.
Okay, all right? Because this is one unit that you need to understand as a farmer. Because it is not about being extensive. It's about being intensive. How many flowers can you produce from a single unit area?
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
At that point, you manage cost and you maximize on production.
Okay.
So basically now, this being 1 meter by 1 meter
Yes.
simulation farm. So the most important thing, ensure that the farm is properly done,
Okay.
the tillage is good, and your flower beds, which is 1 meter wide, all right,
Yes.
has a fine tooth at the top.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Then you come and make 4 ledges, very shallow.
Okay.
Don't make deep ones.
It's not like you're trying to bury something.
No,
you
no,
know?
no, 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 no.
Uh-huh.
Here you're dealing with flowers and they are beautiful. Why would you handle them roughly?
Yes.
You just need to take care of them
Uh-huh.
and handle them with a lot of gentleness.
Okay.
You understand?
Those are 4 shallow ridges.
Yeah, just 4 shallow ridges.
Okay.
All right? And why have we done this? Is because when you need to plant the tuber, we need to make sure that it's able actually to go in and settle very well.
Okay.
That even when you leave it behind, it's able to actually sit on the soil, ready to grow.
Okay.
You understand that?
Okay.
So basically now here, we have the propagation material. This is a tuber crop.
Okay.
Can you handle this?
Uh-huh.
Daktari.
I see
You
that.
can also handle this.
Yeah.
Because today we have to be farmers.
be hands-on.
Because the farmer is on board,
Okay.
baptizing everybody. Now, so on this case now,
Uh-huh.
with the tuberosa,
Uh-huh.
we actually put our tuberose, the first tuber, at near the edge of the shallow ridge.
Okay.
And from there, make sure you do 15 centimeters.
Okay.
You actually measure 15 centimeters from the first tuber,
Okay.
all right, to the second tuber.
15 centimeters.
15 centimeters.
Daktari,
Yes.
15 centimeters. Why 15 centimeters?
To allow for maximum utilization of the nutrients and for proper growth of the crop.
Okay.
Yeah, so that it doesn't compete with the
Okay.
neighboring bulb.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Kanyi?
Yes, sir.
So you make sure you have your tape measure, go 15 centimeter.
Yes.
Then from here,
Right.
you go
Another 15 centimeters.
another 15 centimeter. It is shallow to make sure that it's easy.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Very good, Daktari.
There we go.
Yes, and I do the last one.
All right.
For knowledge. All right. So assumably, with the 1 meter up to the end, all right, those will be coming to about 8, between 7 to 8 plantlets just on one
Bulbs, yes.
on one ledge.
Okay.
So from there, remember we have 4 shallow ridges.
Okay.
So that means with this the first one. So the
Okay.
second, the second one needs to be 20 centimeters from the first one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So that would be another 20 centimeters here. Why? Because interestingly, with the tuberose, this is a product that when you plant, you'll have the crop in the farm for the next 3 years.
Okay.
Actively growing and actively producing, harvesting twice per week.
For the next 3 years.
For the next 3 years, my brother.
That's a huge reproduction rate.
Precisely, yes.
And it's harvesting like 2 weeks, 2 times per week.
Okay.
You can imagine the volume of cut stems that he can obtain
Yes.
from the farm with that rate of harvesting.
No, that's amazing.
Precisely.
So 15, then ridge to ridge is 20.
It's 20 years.
Okay.
So, and interestingly, why we are separating this is important to tell our viewer the same, is because this single bubblet will one day be such big stuff,
Oh.
giving more. tubers.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So that tells us that when you come to the next ridge, the same case we have done, we still do it again.
Yes.
So
So that is 20
yes.
centimeters.
You can do the second one.
Okay.
Go ahead,
The first
Daktari.
one, I see that.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now we do for
you
the
can
next one.
So there
for the
we
next
go.
row.
So that is
so
20.
quickly. Yeah. You can do like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can have another one here.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you are
Do
doing well.
another one there.
Yes, another one in the simulation process.
Yes.
Another one is doing it. So repeatedly now we'll finally do the last one.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, we can. It's good.
Now it's once you've had your tubers in,
Yes, yes.
the next step as a farmer, of course, the basics are make sure there is enough water supply.
Yes.
Is there any challenge that a lot of farmers or mistakes farmers make
Yes,
after
they
they've
do.
had their tubers in the ground and now they're like, I'm waiting for flowers?
Very good. The most important thing is, and there you brought up a very important aspect here in terms of production.
Yes.
It's always good that we can treat the soil based on the soil analysis results. Of course, that is the primary source of your intelligence as a farmer after you do the soil analysis. Then we apply root guard, which is a very good product to make sure that you're able to enhance the soil, the microbial activities, and over and above that is to enhance and relieve stress from the bulb.
Okay.
We call it root guard. It's so
Yeah, it has it's a consortium of microorganisms. Remember that we have what you call soil fauna. Soil fauna are the microbes that live within the soil.
Yes.
Some of them are pathogenic and they are going to attack your bulbs.
Okay.
They are going to attack your crop. In as much as the crop is early and trying to establish, those microorganisms can come and harm.
Okay.
Some are Fusarium, Lysoctonia, Phytophthora, and the like, and they dwell and live in the soil.
Yes.
So when you put that consortia of microbes called root guard, and I think
It's guarding the root.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's guarding the root. It's like guarding the root with those microorganisms, so that there is no harmful pathogens that are going to attack the roots.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very important. Now, you've applied your root guard so that it gives your bulbs enough time to sort of root themselves and start growing.
Yes.
Because of high reproduction rates, you're saying that you're harvesting twice a week.
Yes.
How long does it take for this to mature before you start harvesting?
very good. For tuberose takes 6 months to mature.
6 months?
6 months to mature. However, at the age of 3 months to 4 months, you're able to get a flash crop. That means that the first shoots will start coming out, and that tells you that you are on the right track, and you're moving to the right destination. So that is where the first comes in. But immediately after the 6 months, you'll be able to be having a lot of production. One tuber here, by then we'll have actually been able to grow and give more shoots. We'll be able to give you, within a period of 2 months, is able to give you an average of 12 shoots per mother plant.
Okay.
All right, so it is highly prolific.
Okay.
Yes.
And we have close to 5 minutes, Daktari.
Yes.
One of the biggest challenges when it comes to flower farming is how to manage the pests.
Yes.
Your flowers are growing.
Yes.
At what point are you supposed to involve, bring in pest management team, if you may just inform us.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. That's a very key consideration because pest management starts from from land preparation, as we had mentioned.
Yes.
That the soils is full of microbes that can harm your crop. Then you do the analysis. Once we do the analysis from the farm, we are able to tell them that your soil is infested by this and these microbes. Then it's time you come with the like root guard or microbial organisms that are going to help. Then from there, you have to do proper feeding. Remember, if the plants feed well, they'll also develop a mechanism, intrinsic mechanism from within themselves to defend themselves from pests and diseases. And as they also establish, you'll also have foliar pests. You can have, for example, thrips are notorious on summer flowers. You can have spider mites. You can have scales, you have aphids.
Yes.
They are soft-bodied, and even caterpillars.
Okay.
And one of the things, Noah, that you'll observe on cut flowers or summer flowers, as opposed to the ignorance that we pay to the food substances that we consume, a small blemish from a pest or any infection will not be forgiven in the market.
Yeah.
That flower becomes completely unmarketable, as opposed to a fruit that was attacked by thrips, and you can peel off the skin and eat the flesh or the pulp inside.
Yes.
Flowers are highly sensitive,
Okay.
and that is why we have to be keen in pest management.
Okay.
Because of course, when you talk of pests, we have insect pests, we have fungal infections,
Okay.
powdery mildew, down mildew. These mildews cause blemishes that make the flowers not marketable.
Okay.
Again, we also have a major problem with the botrytis. All flowers, whether you are talking of like that, those ones on the screen are aphids, and you can see the aphids. The aphid attack can at times be hefty, and that is powdery mildew on roses. And you have to come in with the proper products that can manage that challenge.
Definitely.
Otherwise, and those are actually also those are spider mites.
Okay.
Yeah, spider mites. And you can see they are the flower cannot go anywhere.
Okay.
And one of the things that you don't want to do is to undergo a cost of production and fail to maximize your profits.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And bringing in Mr. Kanye even as we close up. Being a flower farmer and engaging in the value the value chain for almost 15 years. That's more than a decade.
Yes.
Talk to me. This aspect of flower farming.
Yes.
Do we still have room for more farmers to embrace this?
Yes.
Because in Kenya we have that aspect of, we call it duplication of economy.
Yes.
I see you've bought a border. I also want to buy a border. Then we are 25 borders.
Yes.
Most likely we might make a little bit less. For flower farming, what is the potential for that? And somebody who's coming in as the first-time flower farmer, what would you advise them as we finish up?
Thank you, Noah, for that question. I would like to tell our viewers and any interested grower, either beginner or already practicing farming, with the summer flowers, it is a paying job. And we are moving from where we used to practice flowers from outside our homes, the flower beds outside, to making money from the flowers themselves. And so it is an industry that actually today is having a lot of people already in it. The beauty is that the market for the flowers is readily available. We have breeding companies practicing this, like Wilma. We also have Zahara.
Okay.
These are the companies that are able to actually be able to recruit farmers and be able to produce help them, guide them to produce and market those flowers for them.
Okay.
So the most important thing for a farmer is just engage the right people, the scientists, and then produce the best quality, because the quality rewards you.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Quality
rewards
you.
Yes.
Gentlemen,
Yes.
our time is up.
Yes.
Today we've done a lot of planting.
Yes.
And you call this the shoots,
Yes.
Yeah, and this is an encouragement even for the young men in the country. Yeah, to shoot their shot wherever they find an opportunity to do so.
Yes.
And flowers can actually be an assisting tool, a good wingman or wing woman for that matter. But this is amazing. Crazy information, beautiful. I think our farmers are taking these notes. Where do we find you?
Good. I'm based in Thika. Our farm is in Thika. Just a few, about 15 kilometers from Thika town.
All right. Definitely. We'll look for you.
Honestly, it's also a recognized seed multiplier. Farmers can actually assess multiplied seed from his farm, and they can also go and multiply.
Wow.
So it comes in handy, and he is all over the country now. You have a population of
a network of about 4,000 farmers.
Wow.
Yes.
That's massive.
Yes, they are.
Now
but
you
want to do more.
Yeah, we have 4,001 if you add me there. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Mr. Kanye, Dr. Tahiti, I really appreciate you. We love shaking hands. It's a very African thing. All right.
Thank you.
That is Matters Flower Farming right here at the Farm Kenya Show. Thank you very much. We want to take a short break. When you come back, we're still cooking. We're not cooking flowers, of course. We are cooking something sweeter, but they're edible flowers. But I hope that from this demo farm, you've gotten an idea on how to do flower farming, and more episodes. We'll get to go out there into the flower farms and see how this one is extrapolated into something actually an actual farm, because it's about learning, it's about information, and we say that information is power, but it's only power if you act on it. Let's take a short break. When you come back, a little bit of cooking here and there. Gentlemen, asanteni sana.
Thank you.
You guys are so...